Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Devi Daily Yoga for this yin yoga practice for the whole body. We'll continue our exploration of the 5 archetypes of yin yoga, and this will give us a well-rounded sequence for the whole body. So we'll choose one pose from each archetype, and this will give a deep, relaxing stretch for the body's fascia and connective tissues. You won't need any props for this practice. Just go ahead and roll out your mat, and we will begin our yin yoga practice right now. We'll begin this session in child's pose. Come onto hands and knees. And with your knees about hips width apart, bring your feet together and let your hips come back toward your heels. They may or may not touch. Either way is fine. Go ahead and bring the forehead to the ground. Let the palms touch the ground and begin to feel this stretch in the back of your body. And now turn your attention to your breath, establishing our even breath. Even inhales and exhales, in and out through the nose. And one more deep breath here. And let it go. And slowly lift up just a little bit to transition into Tadpole. Tadpole is our wide-legged child's pose. So you'll open your knees up, and you might want to turn sideways on your mat to some degree, or even entirely sideways, so that you can get your knees wide enough to feel a stretch. Take your hands out in front of you and settle your chest back down to the ground. And we'll breathe into this inner thigh stretch. The target area is the groin, the inner thighs. And breathe as you continue to soften, allowing time to create the stretch on the body's deep tissues, allowing gravity to do the work so your mind can simply relax, your body can relax, and let the breath guide you. And slowly come up. And as you come up, return to hands and knees. Place your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and take some hip circles, bringing the hips around to the right and back toward the heels, over to the left and forward, and change directions. Circle all the way around. And let's take it back to the right. One more nice slow circle on each side. Good. And now, from your hands and knees, we'll take it into sleeping swan, drawing the right knee forward and turn the shin so the foot comes toward the opposite hip. Settle your hips back. Remember, you have the choice to take this into a deer pose instead, especially if you have any knee pain in sleeping swan. Then deer could help you to do this pose a little more easily and more comfortably. Whichever version you're in, you can go ahead and lift up through your chest, inhale your breath, and exhale, come forward, feeling the stretch in the glutes, the outer hip, maybe down the outside of the right thigh. Rest on your elbows and forearms, or if you'd like to rest farther down, place the head on the hands, or on the floor. If you're using yoga blocks, a nice use for your block is to place it under your head, and you could always have a cushion under this right hip for your comfort. Allow your body to relax into this stretch. Allow the breath to help your body settle into this stretch. Slowly come up and slowly return to hands and knees. And from your hands and knees position, take downward dog, tuck your toes under, lift up through the hips, and straighten the legs. And feel the difference between the right leg and the left leg as you walk your legs out. Feel the difference between the right hip and the left hip after doing sleeping swan on just one side. All right, good. Let's drop the knees and find our sleeping swan pose on the second side. Draw the left knee forward, turn the leg, and finding the stretch in the outer left hip, the left buttock. Inhale to lift up, and exhale, bring your body forward. Choosing again where you'd like to rest, elbows, head, or head on hands. Making any adjustments you need to your angles of your body so that you feel the stretch in the target area, the left glutes. Breathe into this stretch. Breathe into what you feel. Slowly now come up and slowly return to hands and knees. And we'll take downward dog one more time, lifting up through the hips and again walking out the legs. And now from here, we're going to walk the hands back to come into a standing forward bend. Just for a moment, starting to feel a stretch in the legs. And then we'll come forward again, walking the hands To the top of the mat, drop your knees to the floor and come all the way down onto your front. And we'll make our way into our seal pose, which is our back bend today. So you can choose to be here in Sphinx, which will be a less intense stretch. Or if you are up for something a little more intense, straighten the arms. And the hands typically come a little wider than the shoulders, and they're out in front of you to gauge the stretch. If you want more stretch, if you want more sensation, just walk the hands closer in, maybe even to the point of being under your shoulders or anywhere in between. See what feels right on your back. Straighten the arms. And see if you can really get the sense that you're resting in the bones of your elbows so that you're not having to use the muscles of your arms to hold yourself here. This way, it's easier to relax into the pose. Feel the curve of the lumbar spine. Feel the curve of the sacrum. And allow the pubic bone to rest against the floor. And let your back continue to soften with each breath. Feeling tension, releasing and relaxing with each exhale. And a deep breath in now. Let your exhale carry you down to the floor. And press your hands to either side of your chest on the floor to come into child's pose. Knees hips width or wider. Settle the hips back toward the heels and feel your body recovering and resting from your seal pose. Should feel nice in the lower back as you bend it the opposite way. And slowly now come up to find a seated position for half butterfly. Left leg extends forward, right leg comes in. You may wish to sit on a cushion. And if you do sit up on a cushion, it'll be easier to come forward. We're finding a stretch in the back of the left thigh and also into the left side of the lower back. Hands might come to the shin or the ankle or the foot, or you could just rest them on the floor. And as we've done before, let's go ahead and lift a little bit out of the pose, enough to get a long chest and a feeling of straightening the spine, engaging your body for a moment here, taking this yang approach to our forward bend, and inhale a deep breath. And with your exhale, find the yin as you soften and relax. Let your spine round, let your shoulders relax. Let your head relax. Resting and breathing. Slowly release. Slowly walk the hands in. Sit with your spine up tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, turn to your right. Place your left hand on the outside of the knee and your right hand behind you, taking a little twist. Good. Release. Come back around to the front and we'll change sides. Half butterfly. And you'll notice that the hips typically don't really stay square here. You have to kind of bring your left hip back and your right hip will be more in front. So adjust around as you need to. Again, you can be sitting up on your cushion, and you could also support something under this left knee, a cushion or a block, if that helps you to alleviate any pain caused by this bent knee position. We'll come forward over this leg, hands on the shin, ankle, foot, or floor. And now lifting up to find that engaged feeling of the spine. Feel the muscles along either side of the spine activating to help lift you up. Inhale. And now with your exhale, let it go. Relax and soften. Settling into this nice long and patient stretch of the fascia of the back body and the back of your right leg this time. And slowly come up. Walk the hands up the leg. Bring your spine upright, head on top of the spine. Inhale and exhale, twist to the left. Right hand to the outside of the knee. Left hand on the floor to help pull you around gently. Good, and now we'll bring it around to the front. And take both legs in front of you. Come onto your back for our last archetype, our last group of poses is the spinal twist. We'll take our basic belly twisting pose, starting with both feet on the floor. Lift the hips and move them over so that you come toward the left side edge of your mat with your left hip. And now we take the knees up and over to the right. And we just want to feel kind of firmly planted on the outside of the right hip. You can choose if your knees are bent more or less, depending on what feels like a good even stretch throughout your spine, a good even sense of twist. If you'd like, you could hold this leg down if you feel like that helps. Otherwise, just spread the arms out in a T. Palms can be up or down. Depending on your shoulders, one position might be quite a bit more comfortable than the other. Making any final adjustments before you begin to settle in with a nice, even, and slow rhythm of breath. And slowly release. Bring your knees back up to center. And straighten out your hips and shoulders and pause here for a moment. Let your hands rest on your belly. And feel the effects of the twist on the first side. Notice what you feel in your spine. Good, and now we'll take the hips over to the other side, toward the right side edge of the mat. Bend the knees and let them fall over toward the left. And spread your arms out. And you can kind of use your arms and elbows to firm your shoulder blades against the ground as much as possible. Settling into your twist with the angles that feel right in your body. Remembering our target area is our spine. So in yin, we don't have the same alignment. We all have different sensations. We all have different angles of things that help us to feel the pose based on our own individual anatomy. And once you feel like you've found the twist for your unique body, your unique spine, then you can begin to rest. Settle into a steady, easy breath. Slowly release. Slowly bring the legs back up to the center. Straighten out hips and shoulders. And once again, pause. This time, take a constructive rest pose where the knees fall in against one another. The feet come wide as the shoulders. And one hand comes to the belly, the other hand to the heart. Feel the rebound, the effect of the pose. This time, after releasing the pose, when the energy can tend to flow quite powerfully, you might feel a lot of sensation inside your body. And feel the breath rise and fall in your belly and in your chest. And good. And we'll slowly now roll over onto one side and push up into a seated position. And crossing the legs, sitting with your spine upright. And take the hands onto the knees and take some circles of the torso to the right and then back to the left and forward. Once again in this direction. And then circle the other way a couple of times. Good. Bringing it back up to the center. Circle the arms around. Inhale, let the palms meet, and exhale, pull the hands down in front of the heart. And that is our full body yin practice for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how this practice was for you. And if you haven't gotten my yin yoga guidebook yet, it is a free PDF download that talks about these 5 archetypes that we've been working with and all the different variations. I hope to see you again soon in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day.